right, we are starting off windy. It is windy. Winds just picked up outside of the station here in San Antonio. We're currently seeing gusts of up to 30 miles per hour in places. That's going to elevate fire danger today, but make for a beautiful morning tomorrow. Details coming up.
And taking a look outside with TransGuide right now. Road conditions looking pretty good for anyone headed out there on an early Sunday morning. Hey, make sure if you're headed on the northeast or northwest side, you're keeping an eye open for some of these closures like you can see here on your screen. We're going to keep you updated with all the latest here on GMSA. Whatever your weekend's got in store for you, we've got you covered. All right, Texas students, listen up. Today's your last day to save hundreds of dollars if you're planning to go to college. That's all thanks to a new law in Texas that waived college application fees for 1 week this month. It's called the Free Application Weeks, and students must apply online through the Apply Texas website.
We see a lot of students that the price and just the idea of having to spend so much money on college really just deflects them from attempting.
So you've got today and all the way up until 11:59 p.m. You can apply to any public college or university in the state with all your fees waived. You just have to do it again online at applytexas.com. Meanwhile, some students at a New Braunfels ISD don't have access to check out books from their libraries right now. That's because the district says it's reviewing all of its library materials to make sure they line up with the standards of a new state law, Senate Bill 13. The district says the law requires school library materials to be free of anything that's considered to be harmful, indecent, or profane content. Those exact definitions are explained in the law, and KSAT's Madeline Lambert is breaking that down for us. She also sat down with a parent who says she's frustrated with the decision from the district.
How can you shut down a library in a middle school during the school year?
That's what students at New Braunfels ISD are experiencing right now. The Board of Trustees voted on Monday to suspend student access to the libraries for secondary schools.
The district says it's going to review their current books and resources to make sure they are compliant with Senate Bill 13.
They are looking to make sure their library materials are free of any content that may be indecent, harmful, or profane. In short, the law defines those terms as material that's sexually inappropriate for minors or patently offensive.
Amy Payne is a New Braunfels ISD parent who is worried about how the new law is censoring books students should have a choice to read.
If a child goes into a library, they have the option to look at books, hold books, open them up, look at them, and choose, do they want that book or do they not? That's part of learning critical thinking.
The district currently has more than 195,000 books and resources, and they're going to close their libraries to review all of them. They didn't say how long that may take.
Senator Angela Paxton, who wrote SB 13, has repeatedly said this bill is to protect students from sexually explicit material.
No child should pick up a book in their school library of all places and see sexually explicit, harmful material within its pages. Their young brains cannot unsee what they have seen.
Clay Robson with the Texas State Teacher Association believes the suspension of libraries at New Braunfels ISD is unnecessary.
But to shut down student access to library books where they can review every book that's on the shelves is an overreach and a disruption, an unnecessary disruption of the educational process.
New Braunfels ISD stated that the district does not intend to permanently close its libraries, but students will not have access to them during the review.
We also try to sit down with New Braunfels ISD superintendent to learn more about this process, but she was unavailable by the time this aired. Madeline Lambert, KSAT 12 News.
All right, well, back here at home, Allison, a patient at Christus Children's living with dysautonomia, got to live out her dream thanks to some Children's Miracle Network hospitals. A huge Jonas Brothers fan, she got to attend their San Antonio concert with her family on Saturday and even got to have a little VIP meet and greet to meet the band, as you see in that picture in there. Despite the challenges of her condition, Allison's positivity inspires many, the hospital says, and this special experience brought her and her family some joy and some hope.
That is awesome.
Yeah, do you listen to Jonas Brothers much?
No, I was a little old when the Joe Bros were.
When they hit the scene, yeah?
Yeah, but my sister, though, she was a huge Jonas Brothers.
Well, I still think of that delivery of red dress in the song. It's a good one.
There you go. Of course, Devin is a Joe Bro.
Hey,
I'm just messing with
you.
Hey, here's the thing. We're seeing a cool front moving through San Antonio right now, but interestingly, temperatures have popped up a little bit. That being said, we are going going to see a much more comfortable and pleasant day. Take a look at clouds and radar across the nation. This is a dynamic system creating a lot of rain, severe weather for a good portion of the nation. We're just too far on the tail end of this to see any rain here in San Antonio. And so what we're left with is just pretty much a dry forecast, right? But we're going to be seeing temperatures falling, especially by tomorrow morning. It'll be nice and cool. Across the state, it's only in the 40s in the panhandle of Texas right now. Amarillo at 41, 47 in Lubbock. As I mentioned, temperatures here in San Antonio, we got down to 63 just about an hour ago. And then recently temperatures have popped up because winds are picking up. I went outside for a bit and the winds here in downtown San Antonio are starting to pick up, and I could actually feel the temperature change there. As we take a look at Bernie, it's 64 degrees, 61 in Uvalde, 55 in Lakey, 70 in Seguin, and 68 in Floresville. Those winds are really picking up right now. We've already seen wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour in Bulverde, Converse, 25 mile per hour wind gusts at the San Antonio International Airport, winds up to 31 miles per hour in Seguin. And as we head into the next couple of hours, it is going to be a windy start to our day. We could easily see wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour all around San Antonio. By the lunch hour, though, those winds will come down. We'll only see a few wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour, and in the afternoon, winds will really calm. By tonight, we're going to have a calm wind, and that will lead to a cool morning tomorrow. So putting everything together for you in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, I think we'll drop to about 65 degrees here just before sunrise, and then we're going to be looking at pretty windy conditions through about noon, and then we'll be completely sunny with a high temperature of only 87. Yesterday we were at 93. We tied a record. So today 87, and we are going to have pretty low humidity too. There will still be some areas that reach 90 degrees, but again, with the low humidity, it's going to feel great outside. Take a look at your screen. This is a forecast humidity. So right now we're sitting at about 46 to 50% humidity. Watch what happens this afternoon. 20% relative humidity later on today. The relative humidity being low, the gusty winds, that is going to elevate fire danger. So I just want to remind you of some things to keep yourself safe. No campfires or burn piles today. Avoid using tools that create sparks. This one's very important. Disposing of cigarettes properly. Don't just flick a cigarette out of your car window, because that could easily set the grass median on fire. Not dragging trailer chains, and do not park your vehicle on grass. That will help to prevent the creation of fires. Take a look at low temperatures tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up and have our coolest morning since May. We're going to be in the 50s, 58 in San Antonio, 51 in Kerrville, 63 though in Del Rio, 55 in Gonzales, and 57 in Pleasanton. The cool weather though will be short-lived. Take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll be at 90 degrees tomorrow in the afternoon, and by Tuesday morning, not in the 50s any longer. In fact, will be closer to 70 degrees. As we take a look at the week, I have included a rain chance on Friday as we get another front that arrives Friday. I'll be talking a little bit more about that coming up in the next half hour of GMSA, but it is nice to at least have a small chance for rain there in the forecast. And again, yeah, tomorrow morning, our coolest morning since May in San Antonio.
I am looking forward to that.
It's that time of year where we have light sweaters in the morning and you shrug them off in the afternoon.
Not as much of a fall fail?
Not as much, although it is a false fall because it's only lasting for a couple of hours tomorrow morning.
All right, well, I'll take what I can get. Thank you, Sarah.
Good,
appreciate it. All right, time right now, 6:22 in San Antonio, 70 degrees outside. Well, if you're looking to get healthy, some good news for San Antonio families. University Health in Bexar County are bringing back their free drive-through flu shot events. It's the 6th year they've teamed up to make it easier for everyone to get protected. It's open to adults and kids 6 months and older. You will need to register before you go. Each event is going to run from 8 in the morning until noon. Mark your calendars for this upcoming Saturday, October 25th, over at Gustafson Stadium. Just a heads up, their COVID vaccines will not be available at the events. It's a simple way to keep you and your family healthy this season. For more information, you can check out ksatcommunity.com. All right, time right now, 6:26 here in San Antonio, 70 degrees, with a little more coming up next. There's a recall alert this morning for a brand of cinnamon. What the FDA says could be in your pantry, still coming up ahead. Plus, DNA was the key to one of the Bexar County deputies' latest arrests. We're going to explain why the national DNA database slowed things down and how it all works. Guys, welcome back. 6:30 here on your Sunday morning. I get to be at the desk with Sarah.
Happy to have you here. Devin is always a ball of energy in the morning. Even when it's 4 o'clock, he brings the energy. So
you gotta bring it. I'm excited to be here. I love what I do.
And I'm excited for a cool front that's moving through. Now, it's not necessarily going to be chilly today, all right, but we are going to be windy and dry. Take a look at your screen. Temperatures have been falling across Texas. It's only 41 in Amarillo, 62 in Dallas. It's still 70 here in San Antonio, but we are dealing with some cooler air filtering in from the north. It's 63 in Boerne, 66 in Bulverde, and 62 in Tarpley. And a big thing you'll notice this morning are the winds. Winds are really starting to pick up. We've already seen wind gusts of 25 miles per hour at San Antonio International Airport, but elsewhere, wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. And for the next couple of hours, we could see a wind gust up to about 40 miles per hour. So that gusty wind combined with a low humidity is going to make for higher fire danger today. So we need to do our part to avoid creating and spreading grass fires. But by tomorrow morning, you'll really feel the cooler part of this cool front. We'll be in the 50s, our coolest morning since May. And this week, though, we are still going to be near 90 degrees. Cool weather short-lived. And I'll have the latest on a small rain chance on Friday coming up in just a bit. Devin.
These 3 officers right here on your screen are going to be back in court tomorrow morning for the death of Melissa Perez back in 2023. On a Friday, Officer Andrew Chernak, who was there but was not charged, testified to the fact that they planned to use less than lethal force to detain Perez. He said he heard gunshots while trying to enter her apartment through a window. Chernak said also that Alfred Flores was the officer in charge that night. Police were called because Perez cut the fire alarm and she was experiencing a mental health crisis. Now it's up to the jury to decide if the officers ended up following protocol. Well, an arrest in a year-old murder now has people wondering why the suspect did it. Allegedly, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office investigators say that they recently linked 23-year-old Samuel Charon to the murder through DNA. He's accused of sexually assaulting and killing 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga in September of last year. Her body was found just off of a walking trail near DeFost Park. The site is steps away from Charon's home on Como Street, where neighbors say he seemed to be carrying on with life as usual.
He would be out here every day walking up and down the street at night. And
I've been here for a long time, and for somebody to do that in the park is terrible.
Charon was arrested Wednesday on a charge of capital murder. Some neighbors say the news comes as a relief, while others are shocked that he had still been living among them this whole time. We now know it was Charon's DNA that tipped off deputies, so why did it take a full year? Sheriff Javier Salazar says it has to do with the national DNA database called CODIS. Courtney Friedman heard that and wanted to learn more, so she followed through with the Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar to see just how that system works.
Well, if you don't work in law enforcement, you likely don't know what CODIS is. Don't worry, I didn't know either. It's an acronym for Combined DNA Index System. It's the national DNA database run by the FBI. It records samples from crime scenes, convicted felons, or felony arrests. So why are we talking about it today? Well, because we're told it is the key that solved a year-long murder case right here in Bexar County.
A forensic sample, something taken from a crime scene. We don't know who this person is, but we have their DNA here. We'll enter that in, and then what it starts doing is it starts running it through the systems, and it has to exhaust the local one before it moves on to the state. Once that's exhausted, it'll move on to the national.
Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said that's what happened with DNA found at the scene where 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga was attacked and killed last September. DNA was collected from Stacy and a rock, the alleged murder weapon. It was entered into CODIS, yet nothing in the system matched it. That is, until this week. Salazar says, thanks to a new law.
Came into place a couple of years back where anybody being booked into the jail on felony charges, even if it's a nonviolent felony,
we need to be taking a DNA swab.
Turns out the suspect, 23-year-old Samuel Charon, was booked in the Bexar County Jail on felony criminal mischief charges back in April. Those charges were eventually dismissed, but the swab was already on its way to the lab.
October 13th is when we got the notification that it was a positive match. 2 days later, we had him in handcuffs.
The obvious observation, it took almost 6 months from the time Charon was swabbed to when his DNA hit a match in the CODIS system.
I would love to see those samples come to us much quicker, because you never know. You know, between the course of several months like that, there's a lot of bad things that can happen.
But his focus now is that there is a murder suspect in hand, thanks to a system most people knew nothing about. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Another cinnamon product has been recalled due to possible lead contamination. The latest recall involves the brand Hey Tabe cinnamon powder. It was sold in an 8-ounce square bottle that you see on your screen right there with the best by date of February 9th, 2025. The product was sold at various supermarkets nationwide. The FDA says no injuries or illnesses have been reported in connection with this specific recall. Consumers should return the product to the store for a full refund. And speaking of lead, protein powders and shakes are booming in popularity, promoted as workout fuel or even meal replacements. But Patty Santos shows a new investigation by Consumer Reports reveals some hidden dangers. Some of these supplements contain a worrying level of lead.
Consumer Reports tested 23 popular protein powders and shakes. The results? Over 2/3 contain more lead in a single serving than what CR experts consider safe for an entire day. In some cases, levels were more than 10 times higher. Plant-based products had the most concerning results.
Specifically, when it came to plant-based powders, they had some of the highest levels of lead. They were 9 times higher than the dairy-based protein powders we tested, and they were double that of the beef-based powders we tested.
Naked Nutrition's Vegan Mass Gainer tested roughly 1,570% of Consumer Reports' daily lead limit. Huel's Black Edition vegan powder also raised concerns with more than 1,200%. According to our experts, these products should be avoided altogether. A spokesperson for Huel said its ingredients undergo rigorous testing and that it was confident in the current formulation and safety of the products. In response to our findings, Naked Nutrition has requested a third-party test of its Mass Gainer supplement powder and said, "We take our customers' health very seriously." What about other types of protein supplements?
When it comes to the dairy-based protein powders and shakes that we tested, we found that they had the lowest amounts of lead generally. Still, about half of the products that we tested had concerning enough levels of lead or other contaminants that CR's experts advise not to use them daily.
Nutritionists say most people don't even need protein supplements. Everyday foods like beans, tofu, eggs, dairy, fish, and lean meats already supply enough. But if you want to use these powders, experts say be careful. Consumer Report experts say given the risk, you may want to use these only occasionally. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Consumer Reports also points out that the fiber nutrient is the most people are missing, and it's key to better long-term health. Federal dietary guidelines recommend adults get between 22 and 34 grams of fiber every day, depending on your age and sex. Time right now is 6:38 here in San Antonio, 78 degrees outside. Still up ahead on GMSA, early voting kicks off tomorrow, and we've got a breakdown of who pays what in the latest election for what you've heard about Prop A and Prop B. Plus, we're going to show you how to participate in the latest election and how to check if you're registered to vote. That's all coming up on GMSA.
It's getting windy outside this morning. We've already seen wind gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. We could see wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour the next couple of hours, all because of a cool front moving in. It'll be a warm day with elevated fire danger. Details soon.
So far, TxDOT says roads are looking clear here this Sunday morning. Conditions looking great for drivers headed out for the rest of your weekend. Hey, there's some big traffic that's going to be a headache for anyone going on the northwest, northeast side of town. Stick with us. We'll make sure how to save you time behind the wheel next. "18 days left until Election Day. Early voting starts officially tomorrow. And this election is different for San Antonio. It has the potential to reshape the downtown area. But let's say you live outside Bexar County. 17 constitutional amendments are on the ballot. KSAT digital reporter Christian Riley gets you ready to cast your vote.
This will be my first election as a San Antonio voter, so I'm bringing you along my own journey to make sure I'm registered to vote this November.
By the way, all these resources are available at ksat.com/vote.
First, I'm going to votetexas.gov to make sure I'm registered to vote.
I'm entering my name, date of birth, and zip code, and it shows the word active right here, so that means I'm good to vote.
Now let's talk about what to bring. Everyone needs an ID to vote in Texas, and this can include a driver's license, a voter registration card, a DPS-issued public safety card, a U.S. military ID, a citizenship certificate, or a passport. You can also bring notes about the candidates to reference as you vote, as long as it's not visible to others. But you'll want to leave the Spurs jersey at home. No clothing or signs supporting a political candidate, party, or ballot measure are allowed in the polling place. And this year, that includes Spurs and rodeo gear. Now all that's left to do is figure out where to vote. Bexar County voters can vote at any polling place, even on Election Day. The list of polling places and their hours can be found on the Bexar County Election Department's website. Christian Riley, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, and go. All right, let's cover early voting in Bexar County. Starting tomorrow, you can vote on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday, October 25th, polls are going to be open from 7 to 7. Then that next Sunday, voting hours are going to be noon to 6. From October 27th through the 31st, polls are open every day from 7 to 7. And don't forget, Election Day is coming up on Tuesday, November 4th, with polls open on those same hours. Well, on your ballot tomorrow, Proposition B. It asks voters to approve two different things: increasing Bexar County's 1.5% tax on hotel stays to 2%, and then using that money to pay for part of a new Spurs arena. Prop B is also asking voters to use the county's existing 5% tax on car rentals to pay for the arena as well. Those two sources would add up to roughly about $311 million in county funding for the arena. Prop B is not an increase in sales tax or in property taxes. Prop A, on the other hand, aims to take care of the Freeman Coliseum and Frost Bank Center should the Spurs leave for that downtown stadium. Prop A asks voters to use those same tax sources, the increased hotel tax and car rental tax, to allow the San Antonio Rodeo to become the year-round tenant of those locations and make some upgrades. If voters say yes, $198 million in county money could go towards that. Important to note, venue taxes cannot be used on core services like streets, sidewalks, or public safety. So that $311 million in Bexar County money would be only one source of funding for a new Spurs arena. It's estimated to cost around $1.3 billion. The city of San Antonio could end up paying about $489 million. Plus, Spurs would pay $500 million, and they promised $1.4 billion in private development around the area that the city could generate money from. Armira Arthur breaks down how.
The city would contribute up to $489 million, or 38% of the cost of the new arena, whichever is lower. A little over half of the city money would come from two sources. First, rent. The Spurs will pay the city to use the arena, and private developers will pay the city to lease land around it. And second, guaranteed development. The Spurs and private developers promise $1.4 billion in development around the arena. The city will collect the property tax growth from that development and put it toward the arena.
That is money that doesn't exist without this project happening, correct?
That's correct. It doesn't exist. Really, it doesn't exist but for the guarantee that we would contractually utilize with the Spurs and their developer.
What if it doesn't happen and the city doesn't get the money it's expecting from that?
The Spurs and the developer would be contractually obligated, and we would not make any contribution to towards the arena until those things occurred. So everything's got to happen at the same time.
It becomes a Spurs obligation and an obligation of its partners.
The other portion of the city's financial contribution comes from that same hotel occupancy tax. The state of Texas collects a 6% fee on hotel stays in San Antonio. The city can use that money to pay for a project in a 3-mile zone around Hemisphere. It's called a project finance zone. State legislation in 2023 made that possible.
We can use it for expanding the convention center. We can do it to improve the Alamo Dome, and we can utilize it for a new arena. Those are the only 3 uses that we can utilize that state revenue on.
So what happens if projects in those 3 areas don't happen for the city of San Antonio? Where's the money go?
So the money is literally held by the comptroller until we have a project. And so if we don't do any of those 3 projects, then the state will retain that money and it'll go into the state's general fund.
Under the law, the city cannot use that money for things like street maintenance, police officers, or firefighters, or other core services the city pays for.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs and Frost are kicking off the NBA season with a free tip-off party today. It's from 1:30 to 3:30 over at the Frost Plaza at the Rock at La Cantera. There's going to be music, games, face painting, balloon art, food, and more, plus some special appearances from Spurs players, the Coyote, of course, and the Hype Squad. Then around 1:50 p.m., Frost executives say they're going to make an exciting partnership announcement. You excited for the game, Sarah? You going to watch later on today?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to be in between that and some football.
Yeah, you got to balance the both of them, right?
You do. Just like you have to balance your expectations with this front, right?
Smooth.
It's not going to be one of those chilly, wintry fronts for us. Instead, what we're seeing are some subtle changes. But take a look at temperatures across the nation. You can clearly see a drop in temperatures in the Central Plains. It's 59 in Dallas and 55 in Abilene. Let's go ahead and take a look a little bit closer to San Antonio. We'll go back a little bit so you can see the temperatures. 70 right now in the Alamo City, but at one point we were down to 63. So temperatures have popped up just a little bit, but they are expected to really reach about 65 for the morning low here. And we're already windy. Take a look at these wind gusts. We've seen wind gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. Right now we're seeing wind gusts of close to about 20 miles per hour. These gusty winds are going to continue to funnel in drier air from the north, and we will eventually see the winds calm. But for the next about 4 or 5 hours or so, we could still have wind gusts of up to about 40 miles per hour. So a bit of a windy morning for us, and then this evening and afternoon, our winds are going to calm. So temporary windy conditions. That being said, with the drier air moving in place, you can see that we've got elevated fire danger pretty much for everybody in this orangish color. That includes San Antonio, the I-35 corridor up toward Austin, and out east toward Hallettsville and closer to Houston. Everybody inside of here needs to use extra caution when it comes to the potential to see fires created or spread. So make sure to avoid burn piles and fully extinguish cigarettes. So looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we are going to be gusty through this morning. By about the lunch hour, though, things will be calmer for us. We'll be at 80 degrees around noon. Winds you'll notice from the northeast, but they're becoming less intense as we head throughout the day. 87 for the high in San Antonio, and it'll be 85 in Bulverde, 88 in New Braunfels, 88 in Hondo. And yes, this is still warmer than average, but it's cooler than yesterday. Yesterday we got up to 93 for the high. And then with calm winds, clear skies, take a look at morning lows tomorrow. I want you to look at your screen. This is going to be the coolest we've been since May, right near 50 degrees in the hill country. 54 in Seguin. It'll be 55 in Rio Medina, 55 in New Braunfels, 56 in Floresville, 58 here in San Antonio. And then we're going to have a fairly quiet week. You can see rain chances really don't appear until Friday, and even then it's only a 30% chance. The reason for those rain chances is because of another cool front that's going to be moving through Texas. We're once again going to be on the tail end of this system, and that's why our rain chances only stand at about 30%. So after the cool start tomorrow, it is going to be a warm week. We'll be near 90 degrees every single day. A bit cooler on Wednesday in the upper 80s, but again, a pretty warm week for us. October is continuing to be hotter than average. We may end up having our most 90-degree days in October ever on record. So one of the hottest Octobers, too, for us.
Oh.
But hey, tomorrow morning will be nice.
Okay, I'll take that. See, I like that because when I do my morning live shots, it's nice if it's cool outside.
Well, tomorrow morning will be your morning, Devin.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, time right now, 6:55 here in San Antonio, 70 degrees outside.
And good morning to you on this Sunday. Coming up here on GMA, massive turnout for No Kings rallies across the country as demonstrators sound off against the Trump administration. A look at the protests that pack streets nationwide. Plus, heartbreaking developments in the case of missing woman Kata Scott. What police are now saying after a disturbing discovery behind an abandoned building in Philadelphia. Also, a focus here on pancreatic cancer and black men's health following the death of soul singer D'Angelo. Dr. Darian Sutton right here with tips to help men keep up with routine checkups and make their health a priority. And football season, it is heating up in week 7. We are breaking down the big NFL matchups. ESPN's Herm Edwards going to join us here with his predictions and hot takes. That and so much more when we see you for GMA.
Temperatures falling into the 60s in San Antonio right now, low 60s in the hill country, and those winds are picking up. We're seeing wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour right now, but over the next couple of hours, we could see wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour. High temperature of 87 today, sunny skies, higher fire danger because of the low humidity for us. By tomorrow morning, we'll wake up at 58 degrees, our coolest morning since May, but short-lived cool weather because look at that, highs will be near 90 degrees all week long. There is, however, a small chance for rain on Friday, so that is something to keep our eyes on.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thanks, Sarah.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Deb.
All right, GMA is next. We'll have more GMSA coming up for you shortly at 8 a.m. Thanks for sticking with us.
We often see the power, but not the planning, that a special team of San Antonio police officers uses to end tense situations peacefully.
That's right. Whenever there's a SWAT team, whenever you see them, just know that there are also hostage negotiators who are armed, but they're armed with words. Katrina Weber gives us a rare glimpse as to how they work together.
With big trucks and long guns, a SWAT team rolls in, backing up officers during tense trouble. With them at these standoffs, though, are what may seem more like silent partners. That is, until they use their words.
Make the right choice by coming outside with your hands up.
Hostage negotiators are always part of the plans.
You'll see us, we're in here and the SWAT's in the front. Every time SWAT's getting deployed, we're getting deployed as well.
Officer Sebastian Huerta is a 2-year veteran of the San Antonio Police Department's hostage negotiator team. This day is about shaping more of them.
Tell my kids I love them and they're just going to be okay. I'm not talking to you anymore.
I know what you're going through, Mark.
SeaWorld's Aquatica serves as the backdrop for training.
I'm going to jump off this damn building.
With make-believe scenarios drawn from real-life situations.
This is going to be a very slow, controlled movement.
One group deals with a hostage situation on the phone.
Hey, what's going on today?
It's a lot to explain.
I have time. What's going on?
While another works to save a man on the edge.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that crap. No, she doesn't.
If she didn't care, she wouldn't have called us.
It's not always criminals that want to do this stuff. Sometimes they're just normal people and they're just going through really bad days.
You tell your kids in person that you love them.
Hey, give me somebody else, man. I don't want to talk to a guy. We listen to that person. We never talk over the person. We let them express themselves.
There's no limit to where these teams and their skills are needed, from the streets of our neighborhoods to some of the highest heights in our city.
They're on a highway bridge. They're on a top of a parking lot. She's the reason why I'm up here.
But if real life goes as in this training,
nobody out here wants to hurt you.
Their talking leads to everyone walking away safely. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A group of activists took to the steps of City Hall today, again protesting Proposition B. That's the prop before voters that would use Bexar County dollars to help pay for a new Spurs arena. The group's Cop Metro opposes that measure. It would use a tax on hotel stays and car rentals to put up to $311 million toward a new arena at Hemisphere. The total cost of that arena is estimated to be $1.3 billion. The group believes there are hidden costs in the deal.
To this end, our goal for today is transparency as we properly break down the cost of the plan. This November 4th vote starts a domino effect that will impact our San Antonio families.
Supporters of Prop B have coined it a tourist tax, since it's a tax paid by anyone who rents a car or stays in a hotel room. Those dollars are restricted by the state and can only be used to promote the convention and tourism industry. The November 4th vote is the only chance for the public to have a say on arena funding. The Spurs will also foot part of the bill, as well as the city, but those dollars are not up for a public vote.
At least for tonight, the rainbow crosswalks along a section north of downtown San Antonio are still there. City leaders say that they have no plans to remove them after Governor Greg Abbott directed TxDOT to enforce the removal of, quote, all political ideologies from Texas streets. And that was the hot topic tonight at a community meeting. Night Team's Avery Everett was there, and she joins us now live from the Pride District. Avery, what did they say?
Well, Stephanie, like you said, it was a hot topic tonight. Since the governor's directive came down, we have learned that leaders in Harris County in Houston have a plan to pave over a very similar intersection to the one we have here in San Antonio. But our city leaders say they've made no decisions yet. They're still actively in conversation with TxDOT about what this all means and what may be impacted. It was that news tonight that brought some peace here in the Pride District.
It shows the struggle and how much we have put in to make this our own. It's a safe space for all of us.
And Unique Andrews says this part of downtown San Antonio is where his career began. He's been a drag queen here for the last 2 decades, and now he says he's ready to fight for the future of the city's Pride District and the crosswalks that anchor it.
We're gay and we're proud, and we're going to always make that loud and known.
So where is this concern all coming from? Well, back on July 1st, the U.S. Transportation Secretary sent a letter to every governor stating all intersections and crosswalks needed to be kept free from distractions, which includes political messages of any nature, artwork, or anything else that, quote, detracts from the core mission of driver and pedestrian safety. Now we jump to this week. On Wednesday, Governor Greg Abbott told TxDOT to make sure all Texas counties and cities were in compliance with these roadway safety guidelines. He warned of the dangers of distracted roads and threatened consequences like withholding certain funding for cities that refuse to comply. Now, Governor Greg Abbott has not been available to talk with us since he put out that directive, but we did learn this. TxDOT sent this letter to local jurisdictions requiring compliance in the next 30 days. That's why the Pride District here along Main Avenue says they're worried about the future of the Rainbow Sidewalk.
It's a symbol of being who we are.
Lindsay Andrews helped organize a community forum Thursday night to push for stronger LGBTQ+ protections. She says the rainbow crosswalks here are a symbol of change and one top of mind for so many this week.
No matter what, they cannot take away our pride.
No matter what decision comes next, many here in San Antonio's Pride District say these rainbow crosswalks mark where their community still stands. The meeting tonight focused on an ordinance that activists are currently working on with City Council District Number 2. Now, we're told that ordinance would increase protections for people who identify as transgender or non-binary in the city of San Antonio. But again, it's still in its early stages. We're told this could, down the line, be presented to City Council as a council consideration request.